and that's why he's ideally suited for Mosconi Cup combat. Now, this is a match that has got immense implication in terms of the Mosconi Cup, and I'll tell you why. If Shaw wins it and reaches the final, then Albin Ouschen can't overtake him and gain that third automatic place. So basically, win this match, get 11 racks on the board, and Jayson Shaw will be making what would be his 8th Mosconi Cup appearance. If he does that, he'd be 5th on the all-time list, together with Oliver Ortmann, Darren Appleton and Nick van den Berg.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at the spectacle that is today, I think qualifying for the Mosconi Cup once upon a time was the pinnacle. Phil, it's still the pinnacle, but it's becoming more of a bonus at the end of the season. There's more storylines throughout the World 9-Ball Tour now. Players are winning majors. We're talking about it. You and Michael keep reminding these guys who's won majors. Jayson and Sanjin want to win an open event. The rewards come after it, the sponsorships, the Mosconi Cup invites, all that. They're desperate to snap off an open event so they can tick the box off the list.
Yes, and Mosconi Cup is a perk. The other thing you have to say about Shaw, even if he doesn't make one of the 3 automatic spots, as we've said, he could be denied by Albin Ouschen. If Ouschen were to capture the title today, he could still get a wild card. Anyway, let's concentrate on the present and the first semi-final of this Hanoi 9-Ball Open Championship.
Well, Phil, the lag shot can be a twitchy shot. Sanjin showed he's got the speed of this table down, no problem at all. Looks like a young movie star, young Tom Cruise in The Colour of Money.
And you never know in a winner breaks format, the lag could be very valuable indeed. A little earlier on in the tournament, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz ran 6 racks in succession against Ralph Souquet. Maybe Pehlivanovic has given himself a platform to get off to a flyer.
Well, he made the 1-ball, Phil, but the cue ball followed it in. That will hurt. When you draw off that side rail straight into the middle pocket, you feel like it's a bad break.
And the thing is, because he's split the balls so well, look at that spread. Jayson Shaw immediately in, and this really should be 1-0 given his potting prowess, which is right up there with the very best.
Yeah, just take note of what Jayson did there. Amateur pool players, if you're tuning in, look where he put the cue ball. He didn't put the cue ball in the centre of the table and then try and stun past the 7. He put it in a position where early on in a match, when you're feeling a little tension because it's the first rack or even near the end of the rack, he put it where he could put a good stroke on the cue ball. Cue ball hit the rail, big margin for error. Needs to take care here. He's got to miss the 6 ball. Swing the cue ball round off 3 rails, playing for the purple 5 in the bottom left. All about speed control. Oh, this looks good. It was all about getting an angle.
The extension, please.
He's overdone this. He's overdone it. So a little shaky one there from Shaw. That'll disappoint him. Ball in hand.
Yeah, the position before was a little askew. Even then, we did not expect Shaw to miss that pot, and to miss it by such a distance. He overcut that quite grossly, actually.
This is not easy though. If he can see it full ball, he'll try and bounce it off 2 rails up to the top rail, but it's not really going to go centre of the top rail. Yeah, this has gone wrong. Shaw's got away with one here.
And so after missing the 5 previously, Shaw will be giving this one every ounce of concentration. Well, I'm very surprised at that. Look where the cue ball is, completely lost.
Do you know what, Phil? I'm surprised he didn't play and just go forward with a cue ball there into the gap.
This crowd is enormous. They thoroughly enjoy their pool here, and the point was made yesterday, they're very knowledgeable. Oh, and so is Jayson Shaw jumping to it. This rack has been a little more adventurous than he wanted it to be, Carl, but it looks as though he's going to be on Shaw's side of the ledger.
Yeah, 9-ball is a game of ups and downs. It's like you can feel a little shaky 1 minute, and then a couple of racks you feel like you're king of the world. Look at Ko Ping Chung yesterday in his quarterfinals. Could have been 9-5 down to the young Filipino Amoroto. Amoroto misses the 9-ball. Ko Ping Chung finished that match off like he played the final day at the US Open in the flick of a switch, and this is what can happen here. Shaw's looked a little edgy. He's made a jump shot. Looks like he's going to take rack 1.
He has done, and his cheering section enjoyed that after his match last night when he beat Fedor Gorsht 10-8 in the quarterfinals. The queue outside of the arena to get his autograph was extraordinary. Security had to go and basically get the line in shape. It was chaos out there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mosconi Cup, this is what it is like. Not really seen it to this degree in the open events. This has been absolutely crazy here, but the players won't mind, Phil, because this is what they've wanted for a long time. You know, pool's been in the dark sides of the sporting world, and we always feel like 9-ball pool should have been bigger than what it was, just because of the pure participation around the world. There's literally world-class players from all corners of the globe, so the players have enjoyed that this week, getting mobbed for 30 minutes. Even you've probably signed a few cue balls, Phil, this week.
We've had 40 nations represented here. That's how cosmopolitan pool is, and at some of the major ranking events on the 9-ball tour this year, we've had more than 40 nations, significantly more. Well, he's left himself a shot on the 2, but it's not an enviable pot to take on, is it, with the cue ball so tight to the side cushion? Hence the decision to opt for caution.
The jump shot is very easy to hit the ball.
Extension, please.
I think this passes the 8-ball, but I don't think he's playing that. I think he's playing to send it up towards the top of the table and send the cue ball into the 9. Yeah, he's after some sort of distance. Needs a bit of luck, because if this hits a 6, he'll leave it on. No, he's got a bit of fortune now. This is what will happen. This is the nature of the sport.
tell you what, as that 2-ball came back down the table towards him, Pehlivanovic wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. He will be relieved to see it bounce.
Extension call.
This must only be able to see a snippet of the 2-ball. Oh, that's a good shot. 2-railer, back on the 6.
He was hooked behind the 6 before, Pehlivanovic, but this is a tougher proposition.
Yeah, the start of this match is more important for Sanjin, just because this situation is a little bit alien. And also Jayson, once he gets in front, he will really start to attack the table as Sanjin kicks it in 1 rail. Eagle eye on the mobile phone from the fans. Look at that. Need to get one with Phil Yates on.
Well, that's a first, isn't it? Shaw has got so many fans here, and that's why his match against Fedor Gors last night was so memorable.
Yeah, the man who he beat yesterday in the quarterfinals, Fedor Gors, has also got a lot of fans. Seen Fedor in the hotel this morning, Phil. He had 2 massive pieces of artwork in his hand. Says, where have you got them from? What are you doing with them? Says, oh, a family have been outside the hotel from 6 AM waiting to give me these 2 paintings. Just needs to travel. Yeah, it's got there. Can you see an edge? Can he see enough to pot it?
So Fedor Gors last night, he fell 2 racks short of progress. Now he needs 2 frames. Hard fought rack this. No quarter given.
Beautiful safety shot. I think it was 2010 or 11. Myself and Jayson Shaw went to Bosnia doing an exhibition. Sanjin, we got, you know, some of the locals said, oh, we've got this young kid who wants to come and play with us. It was Sanjin Pehlivanovic. He was about 8, 9 or 10 years of age. This young boy, you could see he had the talent at the young age. He had long blonde hair, Phil. And now he's out here playing Jayson in a major semi-final.
That's the thing with all top-level sport. You have to put the reps in. You have to, increasingly so these days, start early. And as you say, Sanjin has been around 9-ball pool more than half his life.
Gonna play for the pink 4 in the left centre. Oh, he's missed this one. That should have been potted. That's a bad judgment.
I just love the reaction from the crowd. So emotionally invested in every match, every rack, every ball.
Needs a bit of luck here. Has he set it up for the combo? He's not. It's almost like Jayson's just waiting to go on a mad one, an onslaught of racks. Sanjin's trying to hold on in there, trying to get his first rack on the board. That's how it feels to me.
Now you might wonder there why he didn't just nestle in behind. Well, he had to hit a cushion, that's the thing. If you're not acquainted, you have to make contact with a cushion during the shot.
Didn't play the pot, but he's lost. Well, he's lost everything there. It was a poor cue ball. It was a poor 4-ball. Tester for sure, though.
It is an alien environment for Pehlivanovic. He looks a little lost at the moment. Oh, but Shaw's playing poorly also.
I think you're right, Phil. I don't think Shaw has played well in this match. I mean, we're only a rack and a half in, but he's made some big errors as well. If it weren't for the jump shot, which, listen, in many people's eyes, some players like it, some don't. They feel like it's a bit of a way to get out of a hole. Because don't forget, Shaw hooked himself. So if it weren't for the jump shot, playing the cross bank. It's a little wide. That's another chance gone. Players backed themselves to make that type of bank shot, Phil.
The scrappiness, the low quality so far, definitely a byproduct of nerves from both. Lots on the line.
Shaw will have a go at this one. Get the cue ball in between the green and the 9 ball. That's better. Took a gamble with a cue ball, but it was a good pot. I think he'll have a go at this one as well. Could play safe, actually. Could play the 5 ball near the corner and try and get the cue ball over towards the 7. Hit this wrong. He's going to need a bit of help here, Phil. He's going to need the 6 ball to the rescue. Boy. In fairness, where the 6 is, he probably just overhit it a little bit because he was just trying to get the 5 past the middle. That way it didn't pop past the 6.
Scrappy old disjointed pool though in this rack. Now what about the carom?
Yeah, what it is doing is though it's making this an exciting start. Where's the 5 ball going to finish? Right, Shaw's in. The oohs and ahs are ringing through the arena, and we've only had one rack. The first semi-final is 2 guys who are desperate to get to their first Open event final. Our next 2, well, they've seen it all and done it all in the Matchroom arenas.
Yes, he's been guilty of mistakes, but it's hard to imagine now that Shaw won't double his lead. That was more like it at the end of the rack for the crowd favourite. Jayson Shaw indeed goes 2-0 up, but there were a few bumps in the road in rack 2. His only tournament win this year, Carl, was the Turning Stone Classic, which has been a pension for him over the years, that event in New York State. If he were to win this one though, 2023 would be upgraded from disappointing to satisfying.
That was a nice kick shot from Sanjin. Another look. That's the shot that will hurt him though. That 3 ball wasn't over the pocket, but on these tables you feel like it was. I was just saying, Phil, that camera angle, you could still see people coming into the venue.
Well, apart from the Mosconi Cup, this is the biggest crowd I think I've ever seen at one of our events. It is absolutely packed in here.
Oh, that's a nice break. He's going to have a tough shot on the 2. Even tougher because the 6 ball may be covering a piece of the pocket. Watch the kiss on the 9. That comes up a lot when the cue ball's going across the table.
You saw there Shaw's gesticulation. He thought the 6 would block the 2, but it most certainly isn't.
Yeah, and the 3 ball will go. Oh, that's nice. Such a good potter. Eagle eye.
Yeah, that's the real Jayson Shaw. Remember, this is a race to 11, the lengthiest match of the tournament so far. For these guys, it's still, I suppose, a sprint, but it is a very meaningful contest, and it allows the best player to win.
Needs to avoid the 9 or hit it full. Full will work. Don't believe that's the shot he played. I think he was trying to sneak round the back of it. But it's the start Mr. Shaw wanted.
Yeah, that was the clinical rack. That was the potting rack. That was the break and run out that has taken Scotland's finest pool player ever into a 3-0 lead. The perfect start. Welcome back, everyone. It is semi-final time in the Hanoi 9-Ball Open Pool Championship, the inaugural staging of this event. The crowds have turned out in their numbers. It really is a wonderful atmosphere here. It's a new atmosphere, a new experience for Sanjin Pehlivanovic, making his debut at the latter stages of one of these major World 9-Ball Tour ranking events. Same thing for Jayson Shaw, but he's got bags of big occasion expertise and experience accumulated elsewhere. And the man from Glasgow, now based in Connecticut,
leading by 3 racks to 0.
Is looking good, but he'll want to consolidate.
One ball was a little high. Oh, the 3 balls fell in from nowhere. That's quite rare. Unless you're breaking at full maximum power. Usually a random ball doesn't go in, but you could see it got kicked in. Bad news for Sanjin. He's on the 1 ball.
The other bad news for Pehlivanovic is that Shaw is unbeaten here. Played 6-1-6. He's won 61 racks so far against 27 lost. The other thing as well, as you know, Carl, he's not had the easiest of draws. He played Fuche Wei and Jeff DeLuna early on, won 9-4, 9-3 respectively. When he came down to single elimination, 10-2 over Bui Truong An of Vietnam, then 10-6 over Johan Chua, 10-4 Jan van Leeuwen in the last 16, and that memorable victory over Fedor Gorsht last night, when Gorsht, having missed the 7-ball, conceded, even though Shaw still had 3 balls to pot. One thing I've noticed so far, Carl, when he's been coming off cushions for shape, quite often he's been a little short. Maybe they're playing just a wee bit duller, a wee bit quieter, the cushions, than they were yesterday.
Yeah, also Jason's using a completely different shaft at this tournament. And usually it takes a little bit of time to get used to. You know, you're going to pot the ball okay, but it's them little shots where you've got to spin it round. So another mistake here from Shaw. It's not been a phenomenal start, let's be honest.
He got away with a mistake in the first rack. He got away with more than one in the second. Now, what about this 6-7? How does he go about this? Again, adopting the defensive mode, and that was heavy-handed.
I wonder if Sanjin's going to be tempted to play the draw shot bank here. He's got to make something happen. Looks like it can be made. Got to shoot this ball. He's sizing up for it. Okay, big moment here, because this will punish the Shaw mistake. Is the 9-ball going to come to the rescue? It looks like it is. Sort of don't mind that, in the sense of, I believe when a player makes a mistake, sometimes, you know, if they get away with it with a little bit of luck. He's chasing the 9. It's going near the middle. It's there! Jayson Shaw flukes the 9 in the left centre.
Get the Rufus in. It's in danger of coming off. That was a fantastic reaction. Shaw was loving every moment as soon as he saw that 9 tracking towards the centre. He realised he'd been very lucky, and now he's very healthily placed. What a start for him. The fluke snooker from Sanjin Pehlivanovic turns out to be a rack loser. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to see. Obviously not happy, but he knew the camera was on him, so he thought it best to, laugh it off. But Sanjin will have known where the 6 finished. He was a little fortunate. He had the chance at the bank. He will have also known that 9 ball will be moving around the table at speed, so there's always a chance of this. What I do like about what I've just seen, Phil, there was no silly, embarrassment, apology. Embrace it. Do you think Shaw's sorry he's fluked the 9?
Let me tell you something, right? In snooker, Stephen Hendry will tell you this. There's far too much apologising. I'm with you. Just enjoy it.
Well, listen, if you said to Jayson Shaw, you're 3-0 up, you're going to fluke the 9. Do you want to fluke the 9 or not? He's going to say, of course I want to fluke the 9. I'm delighted to see it going. So why apologise? Just get on with it. Especially when you've got a big crowd like this. Embrace it. Get them involved. It's part of the sport. I'll say it again. Sanjin had the chance at the bank shot. He missed it.
So, on that occasion, rack 5 gets underway with a dry break. Again, it's all very staccato, it's all very unreliable, it's all very jittery, one has to say, for Sanjin Pehlivanovic so far. And Shaw is the kind of character, if he can dominate, well, he could pull away into the distance and never to be seen again. The 2 and the 5 very close together. Can he manufacture something? The answer is yes.
Got to control that 2 ball and the cue ball after potting the combo. Oh, missed that by a long way. He's not played great at the start of this match. Let's not be silly. Sanjin will also know this, Phil. It's now a race to 11. He's 4 down, but in his chair, he's got to be thinking, if I can string a few racks together here, Shaw's not playing great.
I agree. In the last 32, it was on the main table. Shaw went into a 6-1 lead over Johan Chur. Then he had a mid-match crisis and Chur got back to 6-6.
Well, that was a good shot. Spinning the cue ball round 3. Now, where's the green 6 ball? How much of that ball is hidden behind the 7?
The extension, please.
You heard the extension call for. Basically, it's a 30-second shot clock with 1 30-second extension allowed per player per rack.
Good shot. He had to develop that ball. And what that meant is he didn't guarantee a good cue ball, so he's just got to make sure he pots the ball in. Do not try and get the cue ball bouncing off that rail, because in doing so, if you look at that angle, he'd have to hit it very hard, so he may just softly stun this ball in. Give the pocket a chance. Yeah, smart play. That's what you've got to do in that situation. He knew he couldn't get the cue ball out, so don't try and be a hero and hit it at 100 mile an hour to force the pot. He's backing himself on this 6 ball. Biggest shot of the match so far for Sanjin Pehlivanovic.
And that wasn't a good sign. Apart from the outcome, which obviously is damaging, he moved on that. The 22-year-old moved.
Coming into this match, the experience of Shaw will have known if he can get off to a good start, it may just rattle Sanjin. Boy, he hit that pure. He got a lot out of the cue ball. You could see the spin off the rail, pull it back up towards the 7. Shaw's on a riot here.
Yeah, potted a really good 3, didn't he, in the 3rd rack as well. We're not being hypercritical, it's just the truth. He's not played his best, and yet here he is, 2 balls away from 5-0. The referee is Marcel Eckhart, just cleaning the cue ball. He'll be back on snooker duty next week for the Northern Ireland Open qualifiers in Sheffield, England. Jayson Shaw could not have mailed in for a better start than this. Okay, he's made a few mistakes, but Sanjin Pehlivanovic has made even more, and that's why it's a lopsided scoreline, 5-0 in favour of Shaw. Mind you, when you look at his career CV, a couple of times Mosconi Cup MVP in back-to-back years. Last year, he won the International Open, Turning Stone Classic, Super Billiards Expo Players Championship. 2017, he was the AZ Billiards Player of the Year, quite rightly so. Won the US Open that year. He's been Billiards Digest Player of the Year as well in 2016. His list of achievements is absolutely impressive. But I think
Rack 6,
winning a World 9-Ball Tour major open event, that would be near the top of the list.
Not making the 1 ball either. Yeah, what Jay's doing there is he's looking at the replay on the huge monitor, because he's just trying to get a bit of a read off the break shot for his next break.
Yeah, because that's 2 dry breaks already.
Well, it's now or never for me for Sanjin. Not had a great deal of form, but he's had opportunities. As he misses another ball. Wasn't an easy shot what he was attempting. Sorry. Jayson can cut the 1 along the rail onto the 6 ball. The cue ball will be travelling though. He's got balls to avoid if he takes that shot on.
Extension called.
When a shot clock is in operation, quite often a player takes his extension at this stage. Early on, when there's a lot of thinking to do, when there's a lot of planning to do.
Decided to play the cue ball. Wow, it stayed over the pocket. I thought that had gone, Phil, for a minute. Thought any contact it would fall.
Yeah, keep expecting this 6 ball to topple, but it won't. It's right on the edge.
Yeah, it just caught the rail, didn't it? When you seen the replay. Taking a gamble on cue ball here. This might get flicked in the side. Well, thankfully it didn't. Things are not getting easier though for Sanjin. And this is a horrible spot he's in here.
Extension, please.
You have to say, his performance so far in this match is not representative of the way he's played here in general. He's played some lovely pool, especially once into single elimination. Beaten the likes of Alexa Pachelch, his best pal, Naoki Oi. In the last 16, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, and then Michael Feliciano. Now then, has Shaw got the hook? Not giving much away from his demeanour.
Where's the cue ball going to finish?
That was a wild ride, wasn't it?
Well, it's 1-1 in flukes, Phil. The shot he was attempting was not easy. Actually a really nice fluke. I'm sure that'll be doing the rounds on socials. Missed a shot like this early on the 3. This is a little bit more difficult. He's going to have no shot on the 5 though. He's going to have no shots on the 5 ball. Stand by your beds, Phil. This is getting whacked off the back rail. Anything could happen here. He's got no shot. He's just got to rely on some pool luck here.
Yeah, but he's already had plenty. It's not an inexhaustible commodity.
It might go in the top bag, you know. No, it's not going to. Some people around the world think it should be a call shot game, Phil. I'm sure you're well aware of that, but I believe over the season, if you're playing enough pool tournaments, you get your fair share of the luck and the bad luck. I think there's just a case of swings and roundabouts.
And the crowd love flukes. End of debate. Wide of the mark, so Pehlivanovic has another chance to get off the mark.
Yeah, this is the type of shot where he has missed though. And he knows how big this shot is, because if he misses it, you would feel like he's going to leave his opponent in. And he's also guaranteed a shot on the 6 ball. Just pop the 5. No, he's missed it by a mile. He's missed it by a mile. What a fluke he's had here. Do you know what, Phil? It's incredible. Over the years, when I've played pool with amateur players, they seem to get more flukes because they missed the pot by so far. Because he's missed the pot by so far, he's fluked it in the left side.
And you know, we've seen it so often. That could be a turning point. It really could be. It doesn't seem that way now. But in a few racks' time, we could be looking back on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're a good potter and you miss it and you hit the rail, you're not really going to fluke it in the left centre. What a incredible opening 6 racks we've had here. It's just been madness. If you said to Jayson Shaw, you're going to be 5-1 up from the opening 6 racks going into the break, he'd have snapped your hand off, Phil. That's all he's got to be thinking in his chair.
In rack 6. Incident-packed pool so far in the first semi-final of the Hanoi Open 9-Ball Championship, the first ever staging of this event, and given the support that the Vietnamese pool fans have given us, it will not be the last. Now then, Sanjin Pehlivanovic, after winning rack 6, very luckily, gets to break off for the first time since he was so accurate with his lag.
Where's the cue ball? Where's the 9-ball?
Sanjin Pehlivanovic must have lived a very clean life so far. This is extraordinary. He was a fraction of an inch away from scratching, and then the 9-ball went in. That's plus the 2 flukes in the previous rack. I think back-to-back call, the 2 luckiest racks I've ever seen consecutively.
Yeah, you just kind of felt he's going to need something like this to try and get himself back in the match, because he's been struggling.
I think with 9-ball pool you have to embrace the fact that luck,
Yeah,
even at the very highest level, is a component. No point denying it.
Yeah, but there's a long way to go. We're not even halfway through the match. I think we need to settle down a little bit. Phil, you're getting a little bit giddy, I can tell. Jayson Shaw's just got to be patient, sit in the chair, seen it all before. He was cheering when he fluked the 9-ball. He's not cheering now. What I will say is I feel like Sanjin's breaking better than Jayson. I know we're only 7 racks in, but he's the one who's making the one more consistent. And the reason this break rule was brought in, voted by the players by the way, is this exact reason. A percentage of the time over the course of the season, you're not always going to keep landing on the lowest ball. There's more variety on this break shot.
Push out called.
So now Carl, explain the push out.
Yeah, after the break, the next shot a player can call a push out. You have to call it to the referee. So Sanjin's called push. He can roll the cue ball where he wants. He can pot a ball. He can do whatever he wants, basically. He can even pot the 9. The 9 would go back on the spot. So what's happening now is Jayson's come to the table. He has the option of playing the shot, or he'll just give the shot back to Sanjin. It's a very intricate part of 9-ball. It's where you can start to ask your opponent certain questions.
And there's no hard and fast rules. Pehlivanovic might push out in a different way, in a different circumstance, or against a different opponent.
I think that's short of pace a little bit, Phil. You can see the plan. We'll get a better view in a minute. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? He just got there. The kick's easy to hit. Might not be easy to get safe. I wonder if he's just trying to flick thin off it. No, he's tried to hit it full. No, he's going to leave a pot. Now, I wonder if there's a 3-9 combo available here, Phil. There's something going on here.
The old 3-9 combination, that was the one used by Ko Ping Chung to defeat Max Lechner at Hill Hill yesterday.
The extension, please.
Needs to get past the 6. Okay. He's got the opportunity to play a hook, but something tells me he's chasing the 9-ball.
Last time he played a combo, that 2-5 effort, he misjudged it. And this one is by no means a certainty either. Oh, well done. What a shot. The crowd loving every moment, and Jayson Shaw now is loving the fact he stopped a mini rot.
Yeah, this is why you've got to stay patient, because each rack is so unique in its own way. It's a quick rack for sure. You could see the little celebration. He knows that's a big rack just to stop that bigger comeback. 6-2.
When we were on our last commercial break call, I know you went out from our commentary position and had a short chat with Jayson. Anything to reveal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and Jayson go way back. I've known him since he was about, gosh, probably 12, 13. So obviously, I'm not really saying anything to him. There's not much you can say. It's more him just venting at me, really, just saying a few things. You just listen and just say whatever, really. You know, I'm in no position to be saying any wise words. Again, he's missed a one ball. I'm more just getting away from the heat of the comp box area, Phil, to be honest.
I'll tell you what, this year, Carl, we've been involved in some very warm temperatures on the tour. One day in Lugo in Spain, towards the end of the Spanish Open, wow, that was roasting, and this is approaching that level as well.
Yeah, this is very interesting thing I've spotted here. We've got Sanjin, who's struggling at the table. The 2 racks he's won, he's been blessed in, basically. Missed a lot of opportunities, bank shots, pots, poor safes, looks very edgy, but he's breaking fantastic. Shaw, on the other hand, he's not breaking fantastic. Can the cue ball get through to the bottom rail? Quite a neat safety shot there. He's going airborne.
Extension, please.
No damage done. In fact, tactical initiative possibly rested back. Just thinking, you know, we had 4 days of this competition without the shot clock. Now this is our second day with it, and there's no dispute, no confusion in my mind. The shot clock really enhances the entertainment of the game.
I wonder if he can bank this in the opposite corner. Oh, where's the 9 ball going? This needs to keep travelling if he's going to pot it past the 7 ball. The one thing with this particular rack is all the balls are in the open, so you feel like whoever gets in first should well win the rack. That's quite tight.
Yeah, when you've got a situation like this, particularly cutting back into a blind pocket, the tendency can be, in order to avoid the blocking ball, to overcut. Well, he did the opposite there, but okay.
If this bounces, he's going to leave Shaw in. You don't always get away with it, Phil. This is why you have to stay focused on the job at hand. Feels like he can pot it. He could go rail first. Yeah, he played it with spin. That was to turn the ball over. Said before, whoever gets in first should win the rack. All the balls are sat very kind here.
When it comes to dishing, one of the things the players don't like, makes their life much more difficult, is a cluster. Nothing remotely like that here. Definitely not a road map. That would be an exaggeration. But for someone of Shaw's potting ability, well within his capabilities. And I think he's perceptibly increased the pace.
Yeah, he knows this is a good chance from the minute Sanjin left the one over the hole.
Cue ball a little too close to the side cushion for comfort. These have been missed.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the world off the rail though. He's one of the top players on the circuit. Would you back him to pot this more than the others?
There was no hint of any connection with a jaw. And now after those two extraordinary racks won by Sanjin Pehlivanovic, command is being restored for Jayson Shaw at 7-2. Jayson Shaw is looking good in the first semi-final of the Hanoi Open 9-Ball Pool Championship. But you know, Carl Boys has just reminded me that Sanjin Pehlivanovic might have a template for how to get back into this, because he might be inspired by what his best friend did a couple of weeks ago against Shaw in the US Open. Tell us about it, Carl.
Yeah, it was the quarterfinals. Jayson Shaw was 6-2 up, playing Alexa Purcell, and Sanjin Pehlivanovic, are best buddies. They travel all over the world, playing pool, playing on the world stage. I'm sure he's here watching somewhere. It's that busy, can't actually tell where he is. So I'm sure during the interval he's giving him a few wise words, saying, come on, buddy, I've done it, you can do it.
And again, the one ball proving elusive for Jayson Shaw. 3 dry breaks now, even though he's well ahead. That was more like it. Went airborne, thumped it in.
Yeah, fantastic jump shot to give himself this opportunity. Now, does the 4-ball squeeze past the 6? Because the combination would mean controlling the pink 4 needs a little bit of work. Could have done with landing straight if he's not playing the combo. Looks like he's loading this up with left spin. Gotta be careful here. Yeah, he had to be careful. Loading that up with spin, that was a previous shot. Needed to land straight on that 4-ball. He's misjudged the spin. Oh, it actually went easy. That will disappoint him. Should have been hitting the rail, nowhere near the 6.
The only positive about that,
The extension, please.
there is cover. So there is some thinking to do by Shaw, and that's why the extension has been taken. Any contact will do, though, in terms of potting the ball. That is just fine. Position on the 5 worked out, and away he goes again. Always have to be careful on these shots to the centre pockets. They are cut brutally.
Jayson Shaw went through.
After securing the first 5 racks, that is now 3 in succession for Jayson Shaw. He's 8-2 ahead. He only needs 3 more. And of course, the implication is if he gets through, he's mathematically guaranteed to be representing Europe at the Mosconi Cup at Alexandra Palace in London from December 6 to 9. Bear in mind, if he does do that, only 4 players will have played in more Mosconi Cups than him. Ralph Suke, Mika Immonen, Niels Feijen, and a regular in the early days of the tournament, 6 times world champion in snooker, Steve Davis.
Yeah, still only around the mid-30s as well, so he's got time to clock up some more Mosconi Cups.
Yeah, Shane Van Bonen claimed the 3rd automatic spot earlier this week for USA, and that means he's going to make a record equaling 17th appearance. Shortly holds the record with Suke and Johnny Archer. And of course, he's going to be back for 18 next year, SVB. Eureka, the 1 ball goes in, but there's nothing doing with the 2.
Yeah, he's going to be playing the push out here, obviously. He could actually play the jump shot straight out the gate. Fly it over, swing the cue ball round. I don't think he will.
No matter the size of Jayson Shaw's lead after what happened to him at the US Open, and given his immense experience, there is no way he will fall victim to any degree of complacency. Especially because he knows that Pehlivanovic is one of those inspirational players who can suddenly go on a major roll.
Needs to hit a rail. He's not hit a rail. After contact, a ball must strike a rail unless you pot that ball.
And after that, his chances of coming back even more derailed.
Yeah, there's always a chance as long as you can keep your opponent off the hill. So Shaw will still not be on the hill. It's now a race to 11. Not many people beat Shaw though when he's got such a big lead, Phil. That's just because of the nature of the way he plays. He's an instinct player. It comes easy at times, this game, to him because of that style of player. Someone more methodical who looks at every potting angle and plays a little slower. I always felt that sometimes it could be easy to come back against that type of person in a weird little way.
He's such an asset to the sport. And this year, by his standards, it's been somewhat low-key as he looks to the heavens. Did something drib down there. Yeah, we're accustomed to that. It happens in snooker as well as pool. Sometimes the lighting rig has moisture off that.
He's still having a good look. I noticed when me and JJ was doing the start of the show, it felt very windy over there. I think the fans above must be blowing down quite powerful. Maybe that's what Jason's just trying to point out to Marcel. Yeah, the referee's not only there to referee the match. If the players have any questions, they can just look over and say, Marcel, any chance, pal? What's going on? It's windy out here.
Yes, and the wind is blowing in only one direction. That's Jayson Shaw's wife there. Not quite in celebratory mode just yet, but at 9-2, he's holding all of the aces. It's amazing, though, you know, how weather conditions can sometimes interrupt cue sports. In the 1973 World Snooker Championship quarter-final, Fred Davis and Alex Higgins, the match had to be suspended because rain stopped play. It was coming through the roof. Guess where that tournament was? A city renowned for its rain, Manchester. No one's raining on Shaw's parade though. 7 ahead, breaking off in rack 12.
Yeah, Jason's just having a chat with our tournament director, Brendan Moore. And I heard the conversation because they were quite close to us, Phil. He said the fan right above the table is blowing down a very strong wind.
Well, we're fans of all of the events on the World 9-Ball Tour, and these are the winners. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz, a double winner at the World Pool Championship and the Premier League. Copigny weighed in at the World Masters. Eklund Kachi sadly injured. He was on course to be in the Mosconi Cup, but a car accident meant he hasn't played a lot in the last half of the year. He won the UK Open. Dang Junhui was a surprise winner of the Spanish Open. The Philippines, 25-1 they were before a ball was struck to win the World Cup of Pool. In hindsight, that was the value of all values. David Al-Kaidi winning the European Open in a classic final against Anton Raga, and then the big one. The green jacket went to Ko Ping Chung.
Yeah, and just look at the list of players there. Some absolute powerhouses on the World 9-Ball Tour. David Al-Kaidi, many people thought his game was on the decline. Won the Scottish Open, then putting his name on the history books, winning an Open event. He's come good. He's now in the Mosconi Cup, Phil.
Yeah, as I say, if Shaw wins the next couple of racks, or the 2 racks he requires anyway, he will be in the Mosconi. And the 3 players who will be on Ralph Eckert's team will be Shaw, Al-Kaidi and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Now then, that raises the possibility, if certain wildcards are picked, then we might have exactly the same team as we had last year.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the slight delay is, it's not rain that stopped play, it's the wind. The wind from the air conditioning.
We had this on the main table, which is across the arena, earlier in the week, where the AC was blowing to such an extent that the balls were moving a little left to right, and when the AC was turned off, the problem was eradicated.
Well, it's not something we've ever really thought of, is it? We blame the table fitters. How dare we, me and JJ? The table fitters are phenomenal at levelling tables. But in the end, we figured out it was the aircon just blowing quite a breeze across the table. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, we're not saying that balls were banana ring or anything like that, but they were moving just fractionally, and of course this is a game of fractions. By the way, you talk about the table fitters. What about the equipment itself? These Rasson tables have played beautifully.
Yeah. Thank you, Rex 12. Jayson Shaw to break, leading by 9 Rex.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these Rasson tables, 4-inch pockets, deep slate in the pockets. The thing is, you might be thinking, well, why is Shaw not moaning or pointing it out? Things are going great for him. Once it's in your head, you have to address it, Phil, because you don't want to be sat there thinking about it. The break is dry.
Yeah, that's 4 dry breaks now for a man who's 9-2 ahead. Don't get to say that too often. So Pehlivanovic does get the hook. But Carl, is it a good one?
He has got the jump cue in his hand, so he feels like he can get over both balls. He's going into the rail first. Played it into the rail first.
Return to sender.
He's trying to get the cue ball back behind the 6. Yeah, you see the cue ball coming. Jayson may try and get the cue ball off the top rail in behind the 8 ball.
Nearly right on 2 counts. The main one, of course, as Carl predicted, was gaining the hook. He caught the one just slightly too thin. Well, we keep saying it like a broken record. Pehlivanovic has to get going. And that is, frankly, no good at all. Well, I think the best part of his game in this match has been his jumping. He's knocked in 2 or 3 balls jumping that have been excellent.
Yeah, the jump shot and the break shot he's excelled at. It's just been the rest of his game.
The extension, please.
Yeah, the people are clapping, but if you look at Sanjin there, he knows what he's left. He's left an easy jump shot. The cue ball is not tighter, as tight as it could be on the 4, and just look where he's left the 3. It's a poor shot.
Shaw wanted a different contact to that, though, because with the pink 4 on the extreme right-hand side of the table, he didn't want to be down the left flank.
Extension, please.
I wonder if he's just going to try and bounce the 4 off the top rail and send it over to the left long rail. If he plays it hard, the 4 could crash into other balls. He won't be disheartened where that's finished.
You know, just looking around here at this gigantic crowd, I can't quite believe my eyes. They're a little subdued at the moment because I think of the one-sided nature of the match.
Oh, beautiful pot there from Sanjin. Maybe the best shot he's played so far in the match.
Yeah, that's woken the crowd up a little.
It's not ideal, is it? Way short of pace to get on the green 6. This is a thin snip, this one, Phil. Need a good set of eyes for these type of shots.
The eyes don't have it there.
Yeah, how much would Sanjin Pehlivanovic pay if he could wake up again this morning and restart this match? This might go behind the 8 ball. Well, the cue ball was making all kinds of funny little movements there. Did you notice that, Phil?
Wobbling around. No hint of a wobble, though, from Jayson Shaw.
Okay, he's on the hill with a massive lead.
Sanjin Pehlivanovic now trails by 8 racks with a possible 9 to play. It looks like a monumental task, and the reason for that, it is. Before this first semi-final in the Hanoi Open began, my co-commentator Carl Boys went and had a chat on the streets of the Vietnamese capital with Jayson Shaw and Sanjin Pehlivanovic. You might have seen it before the contest got underway. Well, Jayson Shaw predicted he would win 11-6. He might have underchanged himself.
13. Jayson Shaw is breaking on the hill, leading by 10 racks to 2.
Changed the sides he was breaking from, and actually this time he broke with his playing cue, so he's trying things out. Now he's on the hill. One thing he will do, Phil, I mean, I'm talking he's going to win this match, of course, but it looks highly likely now, especially when you look at these split of the balls. He'll disappear, he'll freshen up, and he'll come back before the final, and guaranteed he spends quite a lot of time on the break shot.
This not dissimilar to one of the semi-finals at the US Open when Ko Ping Chung defeated Aloysius Yap 11-0. Yap failing to pot a ball, Ko potting all 99. This hasn't been as dominant from Shaw, but he certainly has been streets ahead of his error-strewn, error-prone opponent.
Yeah, Sanjin's kind of just give too many racks to Jayson. He's not took it to him. His safeties have not been tight enough. He's left too many opportunities.
And of course, the aforementioned Ko Ping Chung will feature in our second semi-final against Albin Auschen. Looks as though Alexandra Palace is going to be graced by Jayson Shaw again. Wonder what the US Mosconi Cup captain, our colleague and friend Jeremy Jones, thinks of that. We might find out in semi-final 2. The story right now, though, is Jayson Shaw. He's been in the wilderness to a certain degree in 2023. Now, though, he's back where he wants to be, in the spotlight. That was comfortable, and it was convincing. Jayson Shaw defeats Sanjin Pehlivanovic by 11 racks to 2.